What if the love of your life was already in your story, hidden in plain sight, but you just couldn't see it? Maybe you've prayed, waited, and wondered when God will bring your soulmate. Maybe you've searched for signs, hoping for some grand, divine revelation. But what if God has already begun the process without you even realizing? C.S. Lewis once wrote, "When I became a Christian, I ceased to be my own. I surrendered, drawn into the life of God." What if meeting your soulmate isn't just about love, but about surrender, about being drawn deeper into God's plan? Think about it. How many times have you prayed for love, but found yourself in a season of loneliness? How often do you wonder if you've missed the person God has for you? The truth is, God's ways are higher than ours, and sometimes He introduces us to our soulmate in ways we don't expect. And that's what we're talking about today. 3 powerful ways God introduces you to your soulmate without you realizing it. Before we dive into this revelation, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and declare your trust in God's plan by commenting, "Lord, I trust your timing." This simple act isn't just engagement. It's an act of faith, aligning your heart with God's purpose. And if you truly believe He's writing your love story, stay with me till the end, because the final insight will shift your perspective in a way you never expected. So let's start with the first one. 1. Through divine disruption. Meet Jacob. He thought his life was set. He had his home, his family, and his plans. But then, everything changed. His brother Esau wanted to kill him, so Jacob ran straight into the unknown, alone, broken, with no idea what was ahead. And then, right there, in his wilderness, he met her, Rachel. One of the greatest love stories in the Bible wasn't born in comfort. It was born in disruption. In the middle of a season Jacob never planned for. And maybe that's happening to you. Maybe a door closed, a relationship ended, you had to move. Life feels uncertain. But what if that very disruption is God's way of leading you straight into the arms of the person He's preparing for you? C.S. Lewis said, "God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains." Maybe that pain you're feeling isn't punishment, it's preparation. Maybe what feels like chaos is actually choreography. And let's be honest, if Jacob had never been forced to leave his old life, he never would have found Rachel. So ask yourself, has God been trying to move you, shift you, change your direction? And if He is, could it be because He's aligning you with the very person He has for you? If you've ever felt like God disrupted your plans only to lead you somewhere better, comment below, "God's plans are greater than mine." 2. Through unexpected friendship. Sometimes, love doesn't begin with fireworks. It begins with friendship. And no, I don't mean the kind of friend zone frustration the world talks about. I mean the kind of friendship that God uses as a foundation for something greater. Take Ruth and Boaz. Ruth didn't arrive in Bethlehem looking for love. She was a widow, grieving, just trying to survive. Boaz, he was simply doing what he always did, working the land, leading with integrity. They weren't searching for each other, but they were exactly where God needed them to be. Think about the people in your life right now, the ones you talk to, laugh with, pray with, the ones who challenge you, push you closer to God. Could it be that God has already introduced you to someone, but you haven't recognized them yet? Because here's the thing, Hollywood teaches us that love is instant. Sparks fly. A grand moment changes everything. But God often writes love stories differently. He builds them. He weaves them through patience, trust, and faithfulness. C.S. Lewis once wrote, Affection is responsible for 9/10 of whatever solid and durable happiness there is in our lives. Could it be that God is growing something solid, something durable, right in front of you? And the only reason you don't see it is because you expected love to look different. If you've ever had a friendship that changed your life, even in unexpected ways, comment below. God's timing is perfect. Now, we've seen how God can introduce you to your soulmate through disruption, through unexpected friendship. But what if I told you, sometimes God keeps your soulmate hidden until your heart is truly ready? Because that's the third way, and it might just change everything. 3. Through hidden timing. What if God hasn't revealed your soulmate yet because He's protecting you? Because He knows you're not ready. They're not ready. It's not rejection. It's refinement. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "I am sure that God keeps no one waiting unless He sees that it is good for him to wait." And maybe that's where you are right now. Waiting, wondering, feeling like love is passing you by. But here's something to consider. What if meeting them too soon would ruin what God is trying to build? Think about Joseph. He was destined for greatness, but before that, he was betrayed, enslaved, imprisoned. What if God had revealed his destiny too soon? What if Joseph had been given the throne before his heart was ready? He wouldn't have been strong enough to handle it. And maybe that's why God hasn't revealed your person yet, because you're still becoming, because they're still becoming. And if God were to bring you together right now, the weight of love might break you instead of bless you, because love is weighty. And real love, the kind that lasts, is built on more than just attraction. It's built on purpose. God isn't just writing a love story. He's crafting a testimony. He's shaping two hearts, not just to meet, but to become something together that glorifies Him. And if you rush it, you might miss it. Maybe that's why you haven't met them yet. Or maybe you already have, but you're blind to it because God is keeping them hidden until the time is right. C.S. Lewis said, "There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind." And maybe, just maybe, God is preparing you for something better than you could ever imagine. If you believe God's timing is always perfect, comment, "I trust God's plan for my love story." When you least expect it. You see, when God introduces you to your soulmate, it won't always be obvious. It won't always be in a grand, dramatic moment. Sometimes it'll be through disruption, through unexpected friendship, through hidden timing. But when it happens, you'll know. Because real love doesn't rush, it unfolds. Because real love isn't forced, it's formed. Because real love isn't just about meeting someone, it's about meeting the right person at the right time for the right purpose. C.S. Lewis wrote, "To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything, and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken." Maybe that's why God is taking His time. Maybe that's why He's being careful, because your heart is worth protecting, and the person He has for you, their heart is worth protecting too. If you're in a season of waiting, if you believe God is still writing your love story, comment, "I trust God's timing." But here's something even deeper. What if finding your soulmate isn't just about love? What if it's about something bigger, something eternal, something that transforms not just your relationship, but your entire faith, more than just love, a kingdom purpose? What if your soulmate isn't just meant to love you, but to build something eternal with you? What if the reason God is so intentional about your love story isn't just because He wants you to be happy, but because He wants you to be set apart? Because love, real, God-ordained love, isn't just about feelings. It's about kingdom purpose. Think about Adam. When God created him, Adam wasn't just sitting around waiting for Eve. He was working. He was walking with God. He was fulfilling a purpose. And then, when the time was right, God brought Eve, not as a distraction, not just for companionship, but as a partner in purpose, someone to build something greater with. And what if that's what God is doing for you? What if He's preparing not just a love story, but a mission? Because the right relationship won't just make you feel loved, it will make you more like Christ. C.S. Lewis wrote, "Aim at heaven, and you will get earth thrown in. Aim at earth, and you will get neither." Maybe that's the real secret. Maybe the best way to find your soulmate is to stop looking for them and start looking for God. Because when you chase after Him with your whole heart, when you step into the purpose He created you for, you won't have to find the right person. They'll already be there, running beside you. Because God never writes love stories just for romance. He writes them for impact, for legacy, for His glory. So the real question isn't, when will I meet my soulmate? The real question is, am I becoming the person God is calling me to be? Because the right person at the wrong time is still the wrong person, but the right person at God's time. That's a love that changes everything. If you're trusting God to write your love story, comment, "I'm walking in God's purpose." Maybe love isn't as far away as you think. Maybe even now, God is orchestrating something greater than you ever imagined. And maybe, just maybe, your love story has already begun. You just don't realize it yet, but you will. Because when God's hand is in it, love always finds a way. This next video is handpicked just for you. YouTube knows you'll love it. Or dive into this C.S. Lewis playlist for even deeper wisdom. And hey, don't leave without subscribing. Your journey has just begun.